You want to know the 3 sentences that make a woman's world wobble. Not because they're cruel, but because they blow apart the fragile script she's been handed about who holds the power. Say them once and everything changes. All right, story time first, then the rules. Listen close. I once watched a guy at a rooftop bar. He was mid-30s, quiet, kept to himself, the kind of man people call nice. His girlfriend spent the whole night performing, laughing loud, fishing for attention, throwing tiny digs at him that no one else noticed but him. At one point she snapped, sarcastic, public, and expected the usual, flustered apology, a long sentence proving he cared, maybe a dramatic, humiliating grovel. He did something different. He smiled, took a slow sip of his drink, and said, soft as a meter falling, "You aren't the only one who's special. Not mean, not loud, just flat, honest." She froze, like someone turned off the music mid-dance. That little moment changed the tone of their whole relationship. He didn't yell, he didn't beg. He simply showed he didn't live for her approval. That's the kind of line we're talking about. Before you get excited and start picturing yourself as a villain, stop. This isn't about being cruel. It's about getting your backbone back. It's about truth and boundaries. Most men confuse being kind with being weak. They think a relationship means shrinking until no self is left. That's not strength. That's dying, slowly. So here are the actual phrases, the words women fear hearing, and how to use them so you don't become a jerk. You become a man who won't be chained by manipulation. 1. You're not unique in this. Say, when we met, I thought you were different. Now I see you do the same things I've seen before. You're not special in that way. Why this rips the script? Every person tells themselves they're the exception. Women especially, culturally, are told their sexuality and drama make them singular. Pointing out that behaviors are predictable, said calmly without venom, pulls the rug out. It removes the idea that she's entitled to special treatment because she's different. It's not an insult. It's a mirror. When to use it, not as an attack, but as a boundary moment. When tests pile up, threats, scene-making, emotional blackmail, it's useful to say this and follow it with a concrete change. Less presence, fewer favors, less emotional labor. The sentence alone doesn't win anything. Your life following it does. Warning, don't weaponize this to shame vulnerabilities. If she's genuinely trying to grow, be supportive. Use this line only when you're noticing the playbook repeating, the constant tests that aren't about growth but control. 2. Indifference. If you want to leave, go. Say, if that's what you really want, do it. I won't stop you. Why this breaks the game? Most threats to leave rely on the assumption you'll beg. When you calmly accept the possibility, the threat collapses. People bluff to see what you'll do. If you don't buy the bluff, they lose leverage. This isn't callousness. It's showing you value your life, time, and peace more than drama. When to use it? When she uses leaving as a pressure tool? Maybe I should just find someone who appreciates me. Don't argue. Don't grovel. Say the line and mean it. Then do the thing you said. Keep living, keep plans, keep friends. Your action is the proof. Warning, this must be honest. Don't say it if you'll beg later. False threats backfire. If you say it, let it be real. If you're not ready, don't use the line. 3. The agreement method. Mirror, don't defend. Say, when she says, "You're not a real man," don't deny. Agree. You're right. I'm not the kind of man who tolerates this. Why this floors tests? Most attacks are tests disguised as statements. Defending gives the tester fuel. Agreeing disarms the test by removing the expected resistance. It's judo for arguments. Use the opponent's momentum to fall forward. When you agree and step away, the test has nothing to measure. When to use it, in public humiliation, petty digs, or blame shifting. Agreement, followed by calm withdrawal, forces reflection. it makes her own words land heavy because no one argued back to soften them. Warning: this method isn't passive aggression. Don't agree, then explode later. Agree, then act consistently with the boundary you just set. If you agree she's right that you're not a certain kind of man, then don't be that man. Walk away from the behaviors you won't accept. 4. The sexual truth. Honestly, that part's been average for me. Say, "I've felt less passion here than I expected. It's been just okay." Why this hits hard? Sexual value is, for many women, tied to self-worth. Telling someone their sexual offering isn't exceptional strips away a weapon they use to coerce attention and control. Said calmly, it's devastating, because it's rare for partners to risk honesty about intimacy. It forces real conversation or it reveals manipulation. When to use it? Only when the relationship is already strained and manipulation is present. This isn't a taunt to hurt, it's a reality check. If you use it, be ready for one of two things. She either engages honestly to improve, or she panics and shows the relationship was built on control, not connection. Warning: be careful. This can be cruel if delivered to wound rather than to reset. If you're resentful, get clearer internally before starting this conversation. 5. Show you're happier without the drama. Action beats words. Post a picture with friends, pick up a hobby she mocked, meet someone casually, not to spite, but to live. Why this changes everything? If she expects your life to fall apart without her, thriving instead triggers an existential panic. Suddenly, she sees you as something she might lose, and people only value what they might lose. When to use it? After you've set boundaries. Don't use it as a stunt. Make your life better for you, not as manipulation. The goal is self-respect. The side effect is she finally values you properly, or she shows her true colors. Warning: living well isn't revenge, it's alignment. If you're doing it for attention, you're back to the same loop. This whole dark toolbox can be abused. If your goal is to humiliate, control, or punish for fun, stop. These tactics are powerful and should be used only to correct manipulative dynamics, not to break a person. The healthiest relationships grow from honesty, mutual respect, and boundaries. Use these words as truth-telling tools, not weapons of destruction. Real strength is, say the truth, take the actions, and accept the consequences. If she leaves because you stopped being her puppet, good. That relationship was never healthy. If she stays and chooses to change, even better, you've saved something real. So here's the final test. Not for her, for you. Will you say what needs saying, even if it scares you? Will you prefer your dignity over a small daily surrender that quietly eats your life? If yes, you're already on the right side of the red line. Speak honestly. Hold your life. And remember, the words women fear aren't swords. They're mirrors. Use them to see the truth. Use them to demand a life that's worth living.